Hey guys, I'm Preston.
And I'm Krista. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're new to our channel, welcome.
Welcome. We're two people from New York who love to travel and eat and create memorable experiences.
And as part of our first ever visit to Hawaii, we chronicle our 2-week trip across 4 different Hawaiian islands as part of a video series called Itinerary Challenge Hawaii. If you haven't seen them, make sure you check them out.
We also just recently released a brand new series featuring our favorite moments from all the islands as well.
And as part of our 4th and final video, we want to share with you our 4 favorite moments from
the Big Island
and why those really stood out to us.
If you've also been watching our videos, you might be able to guess which 4 activities we're going to highlight as our favorite moments from the Big Island. So watch the video and let us know at the end if you were right.
And we really hope that you enjoyed this video and you can use it as an additional resource for your future travel plans.
Shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. A favorite moment that we had was the farmer's market located an hour north of Kona and Hilo in a quaint little town called Waimea. Here's a fun fact about Waimea. It actually has another name called Kamwela, used officially for postal service purposes, not to be mistaken for the other Waimeas located in the other islands Oahu and Kauai. So if you see Kamwela used in guidebooks and maps, now you know why Waimea has another name. But if you know why the name Kamwela was chosen, let us know in the comments below. We ended up visiting the farmer's market located at the grounds of the Parker Middle School to explore the local food, culture, and art scene. So when we got there, even though we noticed there was ample parking, it still gets packed, so make sure that you go early. When we were there, we were really surprised and impressed by the sheer number of vendors about, in addition to the hustle and bustle of the visitors as well. We loved their friendliness, we loved their energy, and the overall aloha spirit. So of course, if you've been following along and watching our videos, you know that Krista and I love food. The food choices at Waimea's food market are plentiful. Depending on your mood or dietary requirements, there is something for everybody. From freshly made Southeast Asian feasts, to a refreshing acai bowls, to scrumptious Navajo fried bread, to delicious baked goods and their vegan counterparts, we just wanted to eat everything. We also bought a good variety of souvenirs, including the family-run, locally grown moringa powder. The morning we spent at the farmer's market was such a wonderful experience and a fantastic way to meet and interact with some of the warm, kind people with such a strong entrepreneurial spirit and a joy for life who are able to call this beautiful island their home. And we can't wait to go back to the Waimea's farmer's market to reacquaint ourselves, to rediscover it again, and more importantly, to eat more goodies.
And another favorite moment was traveling further up north from Waimea's farmer's market. When we were there, we were told that our decision to visit the Waipi'o Valley Lookout was definitely a must. And while our drive to Waipi'o Valley Lookout was rainy and filled with fog, as soon as we drove up to the main road leading to the lookout, the fog started to clear. And we were not ready for the sheer majesty and beauty of the valley below with the soaring cliff sides on either end, and just witnessing in person was unbelievable. We read and we also heard from locals that the valley is considered a secret cultural and historical place as it was once home to ancient Hawaiian royalty, including Kamekameha the Great. And while there's still many Hawaiians who live down in Waipio Valley, visitors are generally asked to remain at the overlook or the lookout and not venture down to the valley floor, as there have been instances of visitors unknowingly or knowingly trespassing on private property on the valley floor instead of remaining on the paved roads that lead to the beachfront. And additionally, those who decide to drive down can not only cause harm to themselves but potentially to others. What happens is when you drive down the steep, single-lane narrow road, it can cause major traffic or worse, fatality if you drive over the edge into the jungle far below. And another reason to consider not driving down is that almost all rental companies explicitly state in their rental agreement that you're not allowed to drive down, and if you do, you make the rental agreement void. Even if you decide to forego the resident's request or the signage that's posted, you need to have 4-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, to get down there. As of March 2019, there's legislation that's being considered to only allow 4-wheel drive, low-range vehicles that can go down the narrow, steep, very steep road down into Waipio Valley. So out of respect for the residents who live in and around Waipio Valley, we just want to reiterate that if you decide to walk down or are offered a ride, make sure you stick to the paved roads that go to the beachfront, as the rest of the area is strictly private property of the residents who live in this peaceful place. And if you're a visitor or a resident who lives in Waipio Valley, we'd love to know your thoughts about people like us coming down into Waipio Valley who want to learn more about it, but also be respectful to those living down there. We'd love to hear from you how all of us can be better at both accepting and also being respectful to the desires of the people who call this place home. Also, we felt it important to preface the information how we got down to the beach because at the time we weren't originally planning to go down for two reasons. A, we didn't want to disrupt locals and ask them for a ride down, and B, we didn't want to void our rental agreement by taking down the car since the signage said only four-wheel drive cars are allowed down there. So you can imagine our surprise when a local came up to us after we were walking back to our car from the lookout and offered to give us a ride down to the valley. When we saw that he was already carrying a group of young men in his pickup truck, we decided to ride down there, why not, and we accepted his generous offer to take us down. The impromptu drive down was really bumpy and a bit nerve-wracking, especially seeing the cliff right off to our sides. But we made it down in one piece, and thank you so much to the kind local who brought us down there to the beachfront. And it was really beautiful seeing the expansive black sand beach on the valley floor. And we made sure only to remain at the beachfront out of respect to the residents' wishes, not to go onto the private property. And when we were on the beach, we decided to venture north only after seeing young children wading in a riverbed that bisects the black sand beach. And when you see young kids playing in a river, then you know it's safe to cross.
All right, Kay. All right, we're gonna go cross, go over there. Hopefully we'll see a surprise.
Albeit it was a little bit slippery on the slick rocks.
There you go. Oh my God. Woohoo! Oh, it's cold. Oh, woohoo! Yeah.
Made it over to the other end where we saw gorgeous alien-like rocks covered in moss, and Preston found a bunch of tiny little crabs running around and tried to chase one of them.
You see a crab?
See it?
Where?
You don't see it?
Oh, I see it. It's oh no.
And on the way back, there weren't any kids playing in the river, so we knew it would be a little bit tougher to cross, and thankfully we made it over. But we have heard that the river current can get really strong and can pull you out to the ocean, so do be careful when you cross the river to get to the northern end. What we loved about our time in Waipio Valley and down at the Black Sand Beach was seeing the aloha spirit of the Hawaiian locals barbecuing, laughing and enjoying time with their family and friends, and also just enjoying the calming presence of this sacred area with the waves gently lapping against the black sand beach while being surrounded by the lush jungle foliage in this oasis reprieve. And as a visitor, we want to do our part and be respectful to the residents and honor this sacred area, so please do confer with a local whether it's a good idea to go down either by car, foot, or hitchhiking. And finally, we were really touched by the offer from a local to take us down to the beach, even though we weren't planning on doing it. If you're fortunate to receive an offer from a kind stranger to take you up or down the steep road to the beachfront,
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Thank you so much, guys.
Oh, of course.
Holy shit. Ready?
Yo, that ain't no joke.
Oh!
Joey!
Woo!
we're good.
Oh, you're the man. Thank you so much. Woo!
Then you're lucky to have experienced local maika'i, an act of generosity or kindness. And also don't forget to consider passing on this act of kindness or something like it to another person in the future.
After a thrilling time at Waipio Valley, we ended up finishing the day by relaxing, swimming, and exploring the beautiful crescent-shaped Mauna Kea Beach on Kauna'oa Bay. The beach fronts the historic Mauna Kea Resort Beach Hotel, which is actually the first resort of its kind built on the West Kohala coast by the famed venture capitalist and conservationist Lawrence S. Rockefeller. And another thing to note is that all Hawaiian beaches are public by state law. So even though it sits in front of a resort property, there is still a small parking lot approximately 100 yards away from the shores. We really enjoyed our time at the beach, from its scenic and serene atmosphere, from the soft white sand sloping into the crystal blue water. And unlike the other beaches that we experienced in Hawaii, the gentle lapping waves really made it easy to run along and body surf and just have a blast swimming and having a great time. After all that, once we got tired, you can go to one of the many palm trees that surrounds the beach to take a nice rest and relax. And even though there were kids running around and there was a resort right there, it still felt like a secluded mini beach paradise. And while it's a gem of a beach, it's also important to know that ocean condition in Hawaii can change drastically, from smooth and gentle to rough and choppy. So as a side note, we highly encourage you to check out valuable resources on ocean conditions and safety, such as Hawaiian Ocean Safety, to learn more about respecting the waters and staying safe when swimming in them. And second, the Hawaii Beach Safety, that provides beach and wave hazard information that's updated every 15 minutes based on the forecast of the National Weather Service. I have to say, after visiting 4 different islands and countless beaches, this is probably one of our favorites. The sand is soft, the swells, the waves are nice and calm. Inside, the sand remains soft and rock-free, and it's just a nice, cute beach with a beautiful resort behind me. So next time I come here, we're definitely gonna probably stay here. And the sun's about to set in 2 hours. Not sure if we're gonna stay, but we heard that the sunset here is supposed to be beautiful, and I couldn't disagree with that. So, love it here. Towards the tail end of our trip, but super happy. And lastly, we were really glad that this was our final beach that we were able to enjoy on our trip to Hawaii.
Another favorite moment was a spot that we're looking forward to try called Holuokoa Gardens Cafe, located in the charming artist enclave of Hololua Village, which is in the heart of Kamehameha country, nestled on the slopes of the Hualalai volcano. For our final meal on the island Hawaii, we were fortunate to connect and have brunch with Preston's uncle, who calls the island home. And we were glad that we were able to share a meal at one of his favorite spots, which also happened to be one of the places that we wanted to visit as well. The restaurant focuses on slow food, meaning that the feast of scrumptious dishes that we dug into were made with things that were sustainable, locally sourced, and mostly organic produce or proteins that originated either in Honolulu or across the greater island. Unfortunately, we don't remember exactly what we ordered since we spent most of our time reminiscing with Preston's uncle, but I think the dishes range between $15 to $20. And what we really loved about our time at Holuokoa Gardens and Cafe was the fact that something very simple like the entrance is not in the front, which is actually the cafe, but rather you have to go to the back of the establishment and you pass by a koi pond that reveals an open air garden and features an assortment of greenery, and also has the calming and wonderful sound of flowing water in the background. And of course, we loved the food here. It was a real draw.
What do you think of the food?
Oh, it's so delicious. I think it's the best meal we've had in Hawaii.
Also, it was made more memorable by the ambiance and atmosphere of this beautiful setting to share a moment with family on this gorgeous island. And we will always have fond memories of spending time here at Holuokoa Gardens and Cafe, and we look forward to making more memories in the future. We hope you found that video helpful and enjoyable. Drop us a comment down below, let us know some of your favorite moments that you've had from Hawaii, the Big Island. Also, were you able to correctly guess the 4 favorite moments like we asked you in the beginning of the video?
Let us know in the comments below, guys. With that said, thank you so much for watching again, and if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you know when the next video drops.
And with that said,
this concludes our favorite moments series from Hawaii.
it's been a pleasure to share our favorite moments with you all, and thank you so much for watching.
And we will see you on the next one. Bye guys.
And it's not important to that, bye-bye.
When we got there, we were honestly really suppressed